Hi, this is Matt from tracymatt.co.uk and unboxings.com, and here I have the Acer NeoTouch S200, otherwise known as the Acer F1. I'm just going to do an unbox for you now. This is one of the new Windows Mobile 6.5 handsets, which I'm going to just quickly take a look at. Handset immediately on top, as you can see there, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail in just a few moments. This whole tray lifts out like so, nothing actually in that part. And the box does open like so. And inside there we have a quick start guide, which takes you through all the important bits like connecting up, charging, installing the battery and so on. The user manual on CD. Then there's getting started and synchronization for the online synchronization as part of 6.5. There's a screen protector and the warranty card. Also in the box we have a standard USB to mini USB sync charge cable, and then there is a standard mini USB style charger, and then a 3-pin UK plug. Also the box, the battery, which is a 1350 mAh battery. Actually, considering the capacity, the battery seems quite large physically, but that's just an observation. And then we have a wired headset, which has a standard 3.5mm 4-pole jack on one end, length of cable. Then we have a microphone with a push button, though there's no volume control. And then the headphones themselves on the other end, pretty standard looking headphones, pretty average, and whether or not they're any good, can't really say at the moment. But that's everything that you actually find in the box itself. So let's take a look at the handset itself. There are some initial similarities between the F1 and say the HTC Touch HD, and I'm actually going to bring that alongside straight away. And as you can see there, they are quite similar looking handsets. Fairly similar in terms of size. Screen size is almost identical. I think there's a 0.1 inch difference between the screen size. The HD having a forward-facing camera for video conferencing, where the F1 does not, the NeoTouch does not. The keys underneath are almost identical. This touch-sensitive area underneath, where you have the phone keys, the home and the back button, again are the same on the HD. And in terms of thickness, we're pretty similar there as well. So very similar, and I think that's going to be certainly going to have a very similar market. Where the NeoTouch is better than the HD is obviously that it has Windows Mobile 6.5, but also has a 1 GHz processor. It does have that Snapdragon processor that we've seen on the TG01. So the screen then is a 3.8 inch WVGA, so that's 480 by 800 pixels. Nice bit of screen real estate for actually your web browsing and everything else. As we've already mentioned, there are a number of keys or touch sensitive area underneath. On the left hand side we have just the power button and nothing down the rest of that side. It's pretty clean. On the bottom then we just have a simple hole for the microphone and then the USB sync charge connector. On the right hand side we have a dedicated camera button and also a very small up-down volume control rocker at the top. And actually on the top itself we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, so we can plug in our headphones or indeed our wired headset that's supplied. And then also we have space for a stylus, and it's a small telescopic stylus. It's actually quite lightweight and quite thin, but styluses don't tend to get used that much typically now. It's we tend to use our fingers or our thumbs on the screen. On the back we have a 5 megapixel autofocus camera, which does also have a light, which is good, or flash, or whatever you want to call it, but that's good that that's included. There's no mirror for your self-portraits, but as you can see the black is extremely shiny piano black, so if you wanted to take a picture of yourself as a self-portrait, you certainly could do so, I'm sure. Back pops off just like so. It's quite thin and plastic, the back. It's worth mentioning that it's probably going to get quite easily scratched, the back cover there, but I guess you could replace it. And the battery pops in like so. and holds in place. The battery does have to be removed to get to the SIM card, but that's pretty standard. And our micro SD card socket is just here on the side. You do have to take the back cover off to get to the micro SD card, but obviously don't have to remove the battery. So just pop all the back cover back on like so. That just all snaps in place. If we just power up, we'll just get a little bit of vibrate from inside. There we go, as it's turning on. So let's run down the rest of the specification. I've already mentioned the 1 GHz processor, which is a Snapdragon processor. We have 256 meg of RAM and 512 meg of ROM. That's pretty decent. 3.8 inch display. Quad band for GSM, so it will work pretty much wherever you take it throughout the world. And it is also dual band on the HSDPA channel. Wi-Fi built in is 802.11bng, and we have Bluetooth 2.1 with EDR support. And we have obviously that mini USB, which is USB 2.0 compliant. Built-in GPS, which is an assisted GPS chipset, and that micro SD card that we've already mentioned does support up to 32 gig. So let's just unlock, and it's warning me that I do not have a SIM card and asking me to participate in customer experience, which we will hide for now, and we'll cancel that fact. So unusually, immediately when we start up, we actually do have a series of icons on the screen, which is actually our home screen. We have 9 standard icons, then we have a lock, a keypad and a settings button at the bottom. Now I'm just going to pop into the start menu, and I'm going to go into settings, and then into system, and then into backlight, and we're going to turn the backlight level up to maximum so that you can actually see what we're doing, and we'll OK that. So you probably noticed that I was popping through the start menu there. With 6.5 we do have this staggered icon arrangement that you can see here. That's fairly typical, and it is scrollable, so we can actually scroll to all the other applications that we do have listed here in the start menu. You'll notice that we have Facebook application, YouTube, Google, Notification Manager, there's utilities, registration, task manager, Office Mobile obviously, MSN Weather, there's a calculator, we've always seen settings menu, and Messenger, we have games, and the Windows Mobile Marketplace, very cool, and text and today's screens. We pop into games, nothing really unusual there, just Bubble Breaker and Solitaire. It'd be really nice to see some new games in there. I know they're quite popular, but hey, I know you don't buy the handset just for the games, but it'd be nice to see something a bit different. And what else do we have here? Going to the back into the settings menu. We have our sounds and notifications, clock and alarm, Microsoft My Phone, and lock. If we go to system, we have external GPS, memory, regional settings, and screen, title bar, and so on. It's nice to actually see all the icons though have been redesigned for Windows Mobile 6.5. They're a lot prettier, and I guess they're sort of a bit more modern looking. If you pop back out of here, we obviously can lock the screen, and then we have to do the slide to unlock, and we can slide in either direction to unlock, and then we can go straight into the settings of this screen, and we can actually change what programs are actually represented on this home screen. So we could actually remove YouTube Marketplace and replace it for applications that we use personally more often. Then we push the menu button in the centre, it just does bring up the Windows Mobile Start menu, the same as pressing the button at the side. Buttons at the bottom are the phone keys and home and back buttons, so pressing the phone key does bring up the dialer, which has been slightly changed for Windows Mobile 6.5, and the Neo Touch does have an extremely touch sensitive display, and that's quite impressive. It's dialing quite happily there. But that's how to get into our phone dialer, and from the phone dialer we could also go into favourites and add new favourites in here, and back into keypad, and go into our call history, and that's all listed there too. So that's a very quick tour of the Acer Neo Touch or the Acer F1. We'll have a full review on tracyandmac.co.uk for you very soon, and if you're a fan of our unboxing videos, check out the others that we have on unboxings.com.